DJI, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? God damn. Fucked up a perfect product. Hey, it's Nick again. And today I would like to talk to you about the issues I found with the DJI Ronin S2 in the last 2 weeks, which seemingly every YouTube reviewer overlooked or just didn't care about. But for me, they're pretty big compromises on features, and I think DJI could fix them pretty easy. That's why I'm making this video. So before we start, just a little disclaimer. Normally I would be the biggest DJI fanboy. I even wait for new releases of DJI to get the trailers or like the live streams live. I wait till 4 o'clock in the morning to see them in the first moment. Every time I'm hyped on the new product, same as I was hyped on the thing. Finally a new gimbal which could support my cameras with all different lenses, and my old gimbal was really shitty. I paid like 300 about 6 years ago, so you can imagine it was like a Chinese knockoff. So it was my dream to get this gimbal, and then when I saw that you can use the focus wheel and you can focus with the remotely, and that just was amazing for me as a solo filmmaker who's filming himself right now like this. But I've got some serious issues with the gimbal, and especially with the software of the gimbal, which literally makes some of the features just useless for me. The features why I bought it. So I'm actually a little bit angry at DJI that they didn't think about it and they didn't include it. So the first thing I would like to talk about is Active Track. Active Track sounds amazing. I loved it on my Mavic Air. I loved it on the DJI Osmo Pocket, which I'm using to film my top angle right now. But I hate it on the Ronin 2 because it's so finicky and so hard to get the right adjustment. You have this little slider with sensitivity, but they don't give you any information on what sensitivity you should use when. So in the first 5 tries, I just thought my gimbal was broken because I had a 50mm lens on my gimbal, which is on my crop sensor, on my micro four thirds sensor, 100mm equivalent, and I had it like on 10 of 30 sensitivity, but it was completely freaking out every time I started Active Track. The camera was shooting everywhere around and I lost almost immediately as when I moved the subject. Then I tried some different settings out, different lenses, and with bigger lenses it worked better, but it's still not as responsive as I would imagine it. If I go too high with the sensitivity, it's just like shaking all the time from side to side. And if I use slower sensitivities, I can, like, as soon as my subject is moving a little bit faster, it moves out of frame, and so the start of the track is too late to follow a subject. Even though it would follow him with the right speed, it starts too late to follow him. It's kind of annoying. So I wish DJI would either give us like a rule of thumb on what, or like a little diagram where you see like in which focal length you should use which, and in which scenario you should use which sensitivity, or even update the software of the Ronin S2 or the whole Ronin 2 family to incorporate some kind of like where you set a lens distance, a focal length, and set the following speed, and it just works automatically and adjusts on the fly if the gimbal like notice that it can't follow it or something like that. That would be pretty cool if they could do that, but that's all small. I think that's like because they just doing the in-camera tracking for the first time, and it's not like on the old ones where with the phone on top. I can excuse that because it's like a new system and it's something we haven't really seen on any other gimbal. So I would say like they can improve that. But what really hit me on a difficult spot, and I nearly was thinking about sending my RS2 back to DJI was the app. That's, I think, the main pain point of the product. So first of all, if we go into the app, we have here Raven Eye. Okay, so if we start, we are just in the gimbal control. Like, we can set the focus here, which is really cool. So we can see it moves over there a little bit. And that's one of the main points why I bought it, because I can from a distance control focus, and so that's why I bought the big one. So we can also use it in landscape mode with the controls. So we can look up and down, side to side, and yeah. But we can't see anything right now because we're not in the Raven Eye image transmission part of the app. So to see what we are filming right now, we have to go to connect to Raven Eye. So you can see now here we have now the view of the camera on the phone, which is super cool. I don't deny that for the price point is top notch. But to set it clear, I bought it to mostly use on project where I either have the gimbal in my hand and I'm filming, or I needed to film myself on the go to like have an easy way to film myself, that I don't have to go back and forth from the camera and set the right position if I'm like too high, too low. As every time I then need so much time to set up a shot, I have to find something which I can prop up here to set focus at the point where I'm sitting. Probably if I go back here, with the autofocus, if I go further to the front, I'm also out of focus. So I have to always stay in that spectrum here where I'm sharp. So my ideal setup would be I could just sit here, set now with the joystick my angle, and now the thing I'm missing is where can I focus? I have no way to see from my remote what I'm focusing at. So to focus, I have to go back to the gimbal control and go to focus steering and just guess now, because I have no clue what I'm actually doing. So I set the focus maybe here, and now I have to go again back to the Raven Eye, and we're not really in focus, but it's okay. So that's, I don't understand, why is there no, if I go to controls, why can't I have on top here a little slider where I can adjust the focus? Would be the easiest ever, but they just forgot it, or they just left it out. The second thing also directly ties into that. What I was really looking forward to is the controller control. So I could just connect my Xbox controller to my phone, make a little holder here, and I have like the perfect remote camera setup. So I could mount that on the outside of a car or somewhere else, and I could just sit inside the car with my Xbox controller and control focus and the angle at the same time. That would be amazing. But same thing, you can't use the Raven Eye transmission at the same time as you use in the app here the gamepad controls. So where's the sense? Why should I use the gamepad control if I can't even see what I'm filming over my image transmission? I have no idea what I would steer at. And for everybody who says like, I had the idea too, to connect the second device to the Raven Eye and only see the image on the of the Raven Eye. That doesn't work. As soon as you connect one device, the other one gets disconnected. I tried to send the image to my iPad and use these controls on my phone, but also no chance to get that. I thought that would be maybe a workaround, but didn't work out. And this made me really a little bit angry, because these are two major features which I just can't use as I wanted it to use, or I can't use at all, because I would have to buy a second image transmission system like a HoloLens to see what I'm focusing at or what I'm steering my gimbal to. So I can't get it. What were you thinking, DJI? And that's only because of software limitations, which seem like you tried to sell a certain product to us, and I bought it, and I'm a little bit angry also about that I had to buy that, but we don't tell that. But the good thing with these two issues is that DJI easily could fix them with a software update. So like and share this video and send it maybe to your DJI support, I don't know, so we have the chance to get that update as soon as possible. And DJI, if that's not possible technically, please give us a possibility to connect one device to the RS2 and one device to the Raven Eye, so we can use two devices at the same time, one to steer and one to view our angle. That would be already a huge improvement for me. So that's all I have to complain about. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with the gimbal. I was so stoked how good the build quality is when I got it, when I took it out of the package, and it's my favorite thing to use right now of my filmmaking stuff. Still a pretty good gimbal, and I can't wait to buy the base plate and use different mounts and use it in different scenarios. But please, DJI, please give us that update and don't wait too long, and release the focus system, but not too soon, because maybe it's then the same problem as with this software problem. We get the same software problems on here. And please, DJI, don't set me on your blacklist. I would still love to work with you in the future, and that's all.